Hello, everyone. This is Tom from VoIP Supply, and thank you for joining us today. We have Snom with us. Sarah Boucher from Snom is going to be going over some of the finer points of Snom along with her colleague Simon. Just wanted to introduce you to VoIP Supply a little bit, and then we'll get right into the webinar. Next slide, please. Now, during the webinar, if you do have any questions, please use the Q&A feature. There's a little bubble at the bottom right-hand side of your screen, just like that blue arrow is pointing to, with a little blurb bubble and a Q in it. Click on that, put your question in, and we'll get to all questions at the end of the webinar. Next slide. So some of the reseller benefits of joining VoIP Supply are our VoIP rental program. Also, we have hardware and provisioning, which goes right along with VoIP fulfillments, as you'll see a couple items down there. Essentially, we can blind drop ship to any of your customers. We have our fulfillment portal with you get your own API to submit orders, or if you just want to utilize our provisioning service, that's fine as well. We will get everything pre-configured, sent out to your customer, so it arrives to them, plug and play, ready to go, without any hassle or having to have stuff shipped to you and then shipped to them. We also have our Cloud Span Marketplace, which features the service providers that we are directly aligned with. If you wanted to become an agent with them, VoIP Supply can help you arrange that. You can get monthly residuals as well as earn rebates on hardware that you buy through VoIP Supply for those contracts that you would be selling. We also have our refresh and reclaim program, which is going to be a great way for you to either save or make money. You could buy our refresh product, which comes with a full year warranty through VoIP Supply, and that will also save you a bunch of money from buying new, and you're still getting a A-stock product. All of our stuff is A-stock, doesn't look beat up or anything, looks as close to new as you can be without actually being new. And as I said, that has a full year warranty. And if you do have equipment that you're looking to sell, we can make you an offer on that, should it be something that we would have interest in, and get you some cash for that you can use toward new equipment. And with that, I think we're going to hand it over to Sarah and Simon, and I hope everybody enjoys the webinar.
Thank you, Tom. Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Boucher. I am Inside Sales Manager here at Snom VTech. Just to give you a little background here, VTech was looking to get into the SIP market, and Snom, we've been doing it since 2001. German engineered, very well regarded in Europe. We were always priced premium, but we obviously very well in Europe, not very well known here in North America, but we're getting there, and it's been wonderful. VTech is a multi-billion-dollar organization. We're able to go ahead and do our own manufacturing, so we're able to go ahead and actually reduce our pricing to better compete with our competitors. We do offer a 3-year warranty as well, whereas the competition is typically 1 year, so you get that, which we allow for higher margins there. We enforce the MAP policy, which helps secure everything there as well. And then, of course, you have support right here in North America. Simon Bradbrook's on the line with me. He's our sales engineer. He's available for you to help should you have NFR units or any questions about provisioning. He's very knowledgeable, and we also have other support staff as well. You could reach someone live on the phone or via email. We do have our own warehouse right in San Antonio, Texas. It allows us to get product out very quickly. And we have select distribution partners. We don't allow just anyone to sell our product. VoIP Supply is one of our direct distributors. We have a great relationship with them. And just kind of move on. So for our desk phones, we have an entry-level D120, very simple, 10100, no frills, 2-line phone, great for lobbies, school classrooms, of course, PoE. All of our phones are PoE, but we do offer a power supply that you can purchase separately should they not have that availability where they want the phone. Moving into our 700 series, our color screen phones, all of these provide you with gig. You have the ability to add up to 3 sidecar D7 expansion modules and XML browsing as well. Our entry level is our 717. This provides you with 6 SIP accounts, 3 multicolor PLF keys as well. Our 735 is our mid-range. This gives you 12 SIP accounts. It gives you 32 BLF self-labeling keys, and it has a proximity sensor. Simon, do you want to touch on the proximity sensor?
Yeah, sure. So basically, proximity sensor, it's one of those things, it's a love-hate relationship. Personally, I'm not in love with it. It's a tiny sensor on the phone that takes the phone from idle mode to active mode whenever your hand or your body actually moves near within a few inches of the phone. So you might be on an idle screen, but as soon as your hand moves to like go and start dialing, the active screen actually appears.
Thank you. Our 785 is our executive. This actually provides Bluetooth connectivity, so you can go ahead and connect a Bluetooth headset to it without having to use a dongle for that, so that leaves your USB port free. And it gives you 32 self-labeling keys, really nice large screen. And for those of you who haven't used our phones, just so you know, we have our own acoustic laboratory right in Berlin, Germany. We do a lot of extensive testing, and our speakerphone, the quality is really good there as well on all of our phones. So I had mentioned you can add up to 3 D7 expansion modules. This is the one we have today. It's just a monochrome screen. Again, you can add up to 3, and it gives you 18 programmable keys. So that's great for large office environments where they need to have a lot of extensions and see who's on the phone. They can go ahead and add those in. They tie right into the phone, connect right into it. The first one will go via USB, and then the other 2, if you need the additional 2, you just need a power supply for those. But coming soon, we're hoping by Q3, we have a new and improved, nice, large, taller, doesn't take up as much desk space, and it looks prettier, it's color, and it gives you 16 programmable LED keys, and you can have up to 3 of those per phone. We're hoping this will be available by the end of Q3 2020. It's still in development, but yeah, it looks great. So we're really excited for that. Some of the unique features, and especially now with everyone, a lot of people are working from home, a lot of people are stuck working from home for a long period of time, social distancing if they are in the office. So we do offer dongles that you can go ahead, our DECT dongle, you can plug right into those phones, and you can take this C52 wireless conference device. And with the DECT technology, you can go up to 150 feet away from the phone to be able to go ahead and use that should you need to. And then we also offer a Wi-Fi dongle now, so you don't have to go third party for that. And again, especially in these work from home environments, they may not be set up with that PoE right where they need the phone. So they can go ahead and plug it right in and tie it into their existing Wi-Fi connection. So we offer 2 types of speakerphones. We have our C520. It looks like this, it's wired, and it has 2 expansion microphones to it that you can go ahead and move away from the base with the DECT technology up to 150 feet away. So great for social distancing or really large rooms and environments. You can also add up to 3 C52 expansion modules to the wired one, or our C620, which you see here, allows you to add up to 2 of those. The nice thing about the C620, and this is available today, is that it doesn't have wires. It charges right in that base that you see in the back there, so that it gives you a very long talk time. It is PoE, and then again, the wireless microphones come right out. And again, with 150 feet, you can really go ahead and expand here. So you have these 2 speakers that you can take, put the base right in the middle of the table, the 2 on either side, and then if you kind of take a look here, you can really do quite a large environment, up to 18 people easily. If you have someone that can't necessarily be in the conference room, but they actually need to be on that call, they can take that C52 expansion and they can actually bring that into their office, which is really nice. So they can go ahead and be involved in the call without actually having to be in the same room. I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Simon so that he can go over our mobility solutions, our keyline, and our single and multi-cell DECT as well.
Thanks, Sarah. Have I got complete control here, or have I got to ask you to move the slides for me?
I can move them for you.
Okay, all right. So, thanks for that. I wanted to touch on a couple of things here, as Sarah indicated previously in her presentation. About 4 years ago, Snom brought Snom to help us establish ourselves in the SIP industry, in the SIP marketplace. But with all good marriages, everyone brings something to the table. And one of the things that VTech brought to the table was his experience with DECT. A lot of people might not know this, is that VTech is actually the #1 provider throughout the world of cordless handsets. So we've taken all that DECT technology that we have and the experience we have with DECT, and we've actually implemented it to some of our new cordless solutions. You can go to the next slide, please, Sarah.
Yes, and I do want to mention too, I'm sorry, I should have done this. Our M100 right now, you're able to get special pricing on this directly through VoIP Supply on all of our KLE. So definitely reach out to Tom and go ahead and provide you with that information also.
Okay, thanks, Sarah. So as I mentioned, we got the M100 keyline emulation DECT solution. As I said, VTech brought all of his experience with the DECT architecture and brought it into a small business product. And this is the perfect SMB product with an emphasis on the S. The base station can support up to 10 handsets, and it can support up to 8 SIP accounts. These SIP accounts can be set up as a keyline and or private line. What that means is you can set it up in a keyline emulation mode, or you can set it up in your standard installation solution for wireless, where each handset has its own extension. I'll get to the next slide in a moment, and I'll actually give you some more background on what KLE actually does for you. As you can see here, we've got three types of DECT handsets and DECT sets. We've got the M10 KLE, which is the standard handset. It's four line keys displayed on the handset. The ruggedized handset, again, similar design, just ruggedized. So basically, it's been tested in the drop zones. I will emphasize it's ruggedized, and it is not actually, so it's water resistant and not waterproof. So you want to be careful. You can drop it in the water, but you don't want to leave it swim for too long. And then we've got the DECT, which basically looks like a DECT, but it's actually also battery powered as well. So it's that perfect solution for, say, a restaurant's greeter table out on the street. You don't actually need to run wires out there to power this, because this will actually we've got 7 hours of talk time when using the battery, and there's 8 days of standby time. You can go to the next slide, please, Sarah. So here's the really key feature with this SMB solution, and it's something that no other solution can give you there. We're actually emulating the old-fashioned square key systems. The line keys that you see on the handset and the desk set there basically give a visual indication on incoming calls, and they also report the status of that call. So like an old key system, if you're working in a restaurant, you don't necessarily need your staff to be tied to a voicemail or a specific handset. A call comes in, it's for somebody else across the other side of the restaurant. You can basically place the call on hold, and then you can use the internal paging system to actually page across to tell that person to pick up line 1, because the call's for them. As I said, that's pretty unique to the cordless industry, and I don't think there's any other manufacturer can, in fact, I know there are no other manufacturers that can do this. If we can go to the next slide, please, Sarah. And now with the we're moving more into our medium-sized business, up into the enterprise business for the solutions that we've got with the DECT systems. Slide. So we'll just start here. We've got the M325. This is a bundled solution. Comes with a base station and a handset. The base station can support up to 20 handsets. Then we get into our multi-cell solution. I'm going to skip over the M700 because that actually is going to be end of life within the next year. We're encouraging people to buy the new M900. There's a bit more horsepower in this. When in multi-cell mode, this can support up to 1,000 base stations. with 3,000 handsets associated to that. And each base station can support up to 10 narrowband calls. Obviously, if you're going into wideband or HD audio, that's going to halve down to 5. Next slide, please. So here are the models of handsets that we have. Now, one of the really unique things about this product as well is the fact that all the handsets will work across all 3 of those platforms I just discussed. We've got the existing handsets, which is the M25, which is your base. It's just the entry level cordless handset. And then you go up to the more executive level, which is the M65. And then you get the M85, which actually has Bluetooth capability. It's ruggedized. It's more for that outdoor environment where things might get dropped. And it also has a dead man signal, just in case there's an accident happens. Someone can press this button, or when they release it, rather, it sends out an emergency signal. The new handsets that have just come into play recently are the M70, the M80, and the M90. M70, it's ruggedized handset, IP65 certified, and again, as with all the M85 that I just discussed with you, has the same functionality with the alarm key. This is also Bluetooth enabled for a headset with a high resolution display. The M80, a slight step upwards. We've got a slightly bigger screen, Bluetooth enabled headset again, and IP65 certified ruggedized. The M90 is different because this is actually aimed at the medical industry, because the handset, the plastic is actually made with antibacterial plastic. What this is we picked this up from our hospitality phones that we build. There's an ingredient that we actually inject into the plastic mold that forces any bacteria, basically any bacteria on it, can not actually stick to the surface and just drops off. Onto the base stations there, as I discussed before, the M900, there's up to 1,000 base stations per multi-cell installation with up to over 3,000 handsets. 10 concurrent calls in narrowband, and it's 5 concurrent calls with wideband. Also, you've got the added ability here that if you've got any partners out there that are using Opus, this codec is supported on this product. Next slide, please. Now, as I talked before, when you get these products actually support multi-cell. What multi-cell is it saves you having to use repeaters, because with repeaters in DECT solutions, there's always limitations. And limitations from out concurrent calls that a repeater code can actually support at any one time. So this is where we've developed the multi-cell solution. What this does is it allows you to basically build a mesh DECT network, where basically you're building a network within inside itself so that the handsets can actually seamlessly wander the entire campus without any interruption. Built into these handsets as well, and this is built into all the handsets, even the lower level models. We actually have the software built in to help you actually when you're installing these in multi-cell environments. One of the key things with any DECT installation is to make sure that the signal strength is consistent right the way across. The software that's built into this is actually, you'd have to buy something called a spectrum analyzer, which is about a $30,000 piece of equipment. Whereas these handsets have this software built into it. And basically, it just gives you the optimum place where, when you're doing the site survey, about where you would actually place the next base station. Slide, please. And then we're finally on to our the PA1 public address system. This is actually one of the products that we've inherited from Snom. This is just a very simple SIP solution for public paging. You can create 4 SIP extensions on the box that you can call for multicast paging. It can also be used as relay for listening, and it can also be used for door opening functionality. And at that point, I will pass you back to Sarah.
Thanks, Simon. And I'm sorry, I totally forgot to mention this in the beginning, but we will be raffling off a $100 Amazon gift card as well. We'll get that information out to you guys probably later on this afternoon. I really want to go over our partner program real quick. Really want to let you know the advantage of working with us and some things that we think kind of differentiate us from the competition. I mentioned earlier that we do enforce the MAP policy. We ask everyone now to fill out an application and we actually have to physically approve you. We'll send you a letter. Typically you'll get approved within an hour. But normally 24 hours, typically within an hour. And we'll send that right over to your distributor. So just make sure that you put down that VoIP Supply is your distributor, and I'll make sure they get a copy of that. We also are happy to pass leads on to you if that's something that you're interested in. I would just want to have a conversation with you to kind of know what your minimum would be, if it has to be below a certain amount of phones before you want to take it or so on. And also, once you're approved, you're able to go ahead and purchase NFR sample units directly through VoIP Supply at a rather large discount. And once you get that, you'll be in touch with Simon. He'll be able to help you go ahead and provision everything. And it's really nice to be able to go ahead and actually test out the product prior to really investing a lot of money into it. But technical support, just standard support, you can always email supportusa@snom.com. You'll have my contact information as well. So I handle the partner program. So in the beginning, you'll be dealing with me a lot. And then once approved, I will go ahead and assign you an account manager as well. Something new that we have now is our trade-in, end-user trade-in rebate program. We just actually launched this last week. I'm really excited about this. So basically, for any end customer who's looking to switch over from a competitor or some of the old legacy Snom phones that they purchased over a year ago or higher, as long as it's 5 phones minimum, they can go ahead and actually get a rebate on that. It's really simple. It's all web-based. I'm not going to go into too many details because we can go into it offline, or you can just go to snomrewards.com. All the information is there. But to give you an example, so if they're replacing 5 entry-level phones from another manufacturer, and they want to do a D120, they're going to get $15 back for that by filling that out. If they do a D785 and they only do 5, they're getting $100 back. So it's a really nice incentive. It's something, again, we never really had on the Snom side before, so it's nice to be able to go ahead and offer these perks. It really helps, and again, especially with that 3-year warranty and the margin protection and being able to actually reach someone directly right here in North America, we feel that we bring value to you as well. And this right here just gives you an example of the DECT as well. So that KLE, again, as Simon mentioned, we are the only ones that actually have it on the SIP side. It's great, especially now that businesses are hopefully starting to open up. Restaurants, they're going to be looking to go ahead, and those who are still using POTS are probably going to want to upgrade to VoIP, save some money. So there'll be great opportunities there, and it's just great where, especially where there's a lot of turnover, there's not a lot of training involved. It's just you can see everything there. So $10 for the M18, that's great, and then the conference phones as well. Another thing that we offer is our Device as a Service program. We do this through CSC Leasing. They handle all that. But any questions on that, just reach out to us. We're happy to help with that as well. But it's just kind of another added feature that we have. And I think that is all I have. I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to Tom.
Well, thank you very much, Sarah and Simon. Definitely appreciate you taking time out of your day, and all the participants, taking time out of your busy days to join us today. If you did have any questions, we'd be happy to answer those at this point. We did have one here. What UCaaS solutions are compatible? Elliot, if you could maybe specify what you were looking to be compatible with. Okay, so he's asking if Vonage, Zoom, 8x8 if you would be if Snom products would be compatible, I guess, with
Okay. Yeah, we're yeah. So we are compatible with BroadSoft. Just try, sorry, I'm just yeah. Okay, so BroadSoft Metaswitch, Netscapian's 3CX. If you're actually talking real UCAS right now, a lot of these our products actually work a lot with things like Microsoft Teams and that, but there's no official certification. We are actually working on those certifications right now.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Simon.
No problem.
Okay, and they were, I got another question here. Regarding the headsets, they were asking if your headsets are universally compatible, even with, aside from VTech and Snom phones with other manufacturers.
Not something that we normally advertise. Yeah, I mean the corded phones, the corded headsets definitely do work. But we don't push using our headsets with other products, especially for the cordless ones.
Very good. Does anybody else have any other questions? And of course, if you do have questions after the fact, as you can see, my contact information right there on the screen. You feel welcome to reach out to myself, Sarah, or Simon. We're more than happy to answer anything. I know sometimes questions come up after you leave a webinar, and we're more than happy to address those as they come. So if there's no more questions, I'd like to thank everybody for taking time out of your day to spend a little time with us here, and thanks Sarah and Simon for all their knowledge and the great partnership we have with Snom.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, everyone.
Beautiful. Thank you. Take care, everyone.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.